Hi, I'm Ian McCaig. I'm Chief Executive of First Utility, which is the largest of the independent energy providers in the UK. So that means it's basically the biggest of the little guys. Prior to that, I was at lastminute.com for more than 8 years. So I was Chief Operating Officer there for 3 years and Chief Executive for around 5. And then prior to that, I was in telecoms for a long time, predominantly with Nokia. In terms of why I brought Mentor in was actually I did know David before, so I knew a little bit about him and the context of the situation I was bringing them into. And not many people know this about lastminute.com. Actually, they see lastminute.com as this kind of ubiquitous brand, but actually lastminute.com was a coming together of more than 15 companies from its inception in 1998 through to 2003 when I joined. It made more than 14 acquisitions all across Europe. So I think it probably explains why we needed to engage with an organization to help us to work through some of the complexities when I say that at the time I joined, we had 28 mid-office systems, 19 general ledgers, 8 online transaction processing engines, and I think it was more than 30 brands across Europe. So the reason for engaging with Mentor was it was clear to me very quickly as Chief Operating Officer as I was at the time that we really quite quickly needed to build a very robust and stable platform in terms of how we were going to integrate all of those assets into a fully functioning, efficient and high performing kind of single operating model across all those brands, across all of those markets. In terms of achieving that, these things, it's very interesting, you know. The work with Mentor was very much about putting the platforms in place, building, you know, a sensible and most importantly, a consistent approach to program management, project delivery, simplification across the whole of the enterprise. And that was, you know, from really a standing start. So what Mentor were doing was putting the basic building blocks in place, helping us to do that so that we could execute on all of the programs that we pulled together in order to deliver on the objectives I've already mentioned. So it was quite early stage, quite raw, quite chaotic, very online post-startup with the added complexity that it was working across an international environment. And we were really trying to make sense of a very, very big ball of spaghetti. In terms of you know, why I believe Mentor are you know, an enterprise of substance and an enterprise of value is that they have, and you know, I've stayed in touch with them over the years, they have adapted very well to a very rapidly changing environment in business in general and technology particularly, I guess. That's really important, obviously, because you have to be working with a partner who's forward-looking and adaptable, because we all have to be. The other thing I would say about Mentor is that they're very transparent and they're very good at giving constructive but direct feedback. As a CEO, that's really important and sometimes is quite a hard thing to get. So they're good at doing that, whilst also being respectful of your employees and the teams they're engaging with and working with. And that's a tough balance, and that takes kind of good judgment and maturity. And the other thing I would say about Mentor is that they are very good at sticking to the specification and the terms of reference of that which they are engaged for. So they don't feel as if they are consistently looking for ways to self-perpetuate their presence in your organization, which is of course what most consultancies, if you like, and a lot of third parties try to do. You feel as if quite often their mind is on the next thing. I think with Mentor, you do feel as if their mind is very focused and their efforts are very focused on the deliverable they're engaged with. And for me, that's a pretty big deal. So in terms of reasons to work with Mentor and reasons why I would work with them again, that would kind of be my summary of why.